Hey, Fix It All here. I've got a 2008 Nissan Versa, and I am doing the driver's side lower control arm. Normally, what you do to get to that control arm is you have to take the bushings out of the motor or the bushings out of this little cross member. Either one can be a pain in the butt. On this car, I was going to go the conventional way and do it by the book. Unfortunately, most of my bolts are rusted so tight in place that if I were to try and just use torque and heat, you already know you can't use heat on a bushing. You'll fry the bushing, you have to replace it, so it can turn into a big job and not fun. So anyway, I've already got the new control arm in, so bear with me. I'll give you the best explanation how I did it. I wanted to do it first and make sure that this works. So now that I know I can do it, I'm going to pass it along to you. Hopefully you guys use this and you hit the like button and you say, good job, thank you, this helped me a ton. If not, and you say you're a moron, so be it. Sometimes mechanics have to be really smart when they run into a roadblock. So let's get started. As you already know, let me get under here. Forgive my crappy video, I'm doing it from a forward camera. So this bolt doesn't come all the way out from this one side of the control arm. It hits the transmission. There's no way to get it out. You can bend and twist this all you want. It's not going to work. So the best way to do it is this. You see, what I did was I put the jack on the transmission, on the corner of that transmission bracket. Not bracket, but you know, part of the transmission here, the housing cover. You don't want to go on it. If you start lifting up the car, you probably are putting too much pressure on it. You can damage the actual the mounts for the motor. So this is what I did. After I got the pressure on the transmission, I grabbed my handy dandy ratchet straps. This is a heavy duty ratchet strap. So I grabbed the ratchet strap. Now bear with me, I'm doing this with one hand and I'm just trying to give you an idea. So I came up here. I figured out a good way to get this. I wrapped it around. I hooked it up. Not like this, but I went around, grabbed the other side, something nice and strong. And now I'm doing this to the carriage, the undercarriage, and I'm grabbing it right here, as forward as possible, because you know it'll give you a little bit of bending where your bolt is not coming out. So I went over here. Man, I really hate taking videos like this. But I went over here, wrapped my strap around here, came back over here, and hooked it in. Then the other side of the ratchet strap, I came and I hooked up to my jack. Since I'm doing this on the ground, all I did was hook one side up to the ground, one side up here. I've already, by jacking up the motor, I've brought this bolt pretty darn close. Dang, I wish I could have get a better video. So I brought this up close. It doesn't come out. It's like, it's almost there, but it just, the edge of the bolt catches it. So when you use the ratchet strap, you might have to be a little bit careful. You want the ratchet strap to be almost directly up and down, perpendicular from where you're jacking. You don't want to ratchet strap it here and then your jack is kicking out, you know, at a 45-degree angle. It will slide your jack sideways. So be careful. Try to make it straight up and down. Once you get that ratchet strap on and you give it a couple good pulls, this whole undercarriage has a couple bushings that will slightly give you that play. That play should be enough to get this bolt out. That's about what I'm going to give you for now. Hopefully this little trick was enough to make your bad day go a little bit better. So Mr. Fix-It-All, just getting stuck on a creeper. You got any questions? I'm sorry, sometimes people friend request me or they'll message me. Like, I apologize. Sometimes I don't see the message requests till months later. So the best way to do it, I do get an email if you leave a comment on the bottom. And if I see it, I promise you I will respond. And if it's an insult, I may not. But anyway, that's what I did. I got that out. And now you already took the rest apart. So you know you've only got one bolt here. You got to get an 18 millimeter on one side. And then I forget what size it is here. You put that here. This, if you have a hard time getting your ball joint out of the socket, I suggest I use 2 pickle forks. First, I take my air chisel and I get it in the middle. I put it right in the middle of this crease right here. That should help split this thing up and loosen anything that's frozen in there. And then I take two pickle forks like this because it allows the distance to grow pretty good. So 2 pickle forks, you know, a couple hits with the hammer and it comes right out. So make sure you clean this up with a piece of steel wool or a wire brush or something before you put it back in, because the rust will just keep growing. So that's it. Hope I could help. Mr. Fix-It-All making a 7-minute video on how to change your driver's side control arm 08 Nissan Versa. Over and